This is being in love with fish tacos in your 40s. My name is Tim, and of course I love my wife Kelly Jane too. These have been a staple of my house for as long as I can remember. In fact, they got me through more Mondays in corporate America than I can count. Actually, it's 640, I just did the math. I would happily set my alarm to the occasion, but we just don't have them nearly as much as we used to, and here's why. At the same time I was responsibly firing myself from corporate America, my wife had a big shift at her small business too. Part of that change meant 13 to 14-hour workdays on Monday. But change is good, for the most part. When I woke up on this lovely Tuesday, I had no idea that fish tacos were part of the forecast. I just went through my normal routine without the usual guiding light of what we're gonna have for dinner. At some point before my daughter got dropped off at school, tacos were decided, but which ones were still unknown. So I sat in my bathtub out back and ate my Flintstones without any expectations. And then, instead of my good old Monday routine of commuting into Midtown and playing executive for several hours, I commuted across the bridge in my house into my home office to talk about Chapter 2. And after I was done talking about Chapter 2, I got on my Dutch cargo bike with my invisible helmet and went over to the Brooklyn Navy Yard. I sat down with fine folks at a brilliant agency to talk about the art and science of building a career. Got back on my bike, went back home to have a quick meeting before going back out to shoot something about traffic safety, before running back home to run into the basement to do a voiceover. After the voiceover, I was back up into the office to talk about emotional intelligence. It was around this time that I heard Kelly Jane from downstairs say the magic words, "I'm going to put the fish in the oven." So I immediately got my ass downstairs, and before you could say strawberry and cabbage slaw, there was a kiss. And then it happened. What was once an essential staple of my life is now gone. But it's all good, because life really is just a series of weird little phases. And in my humble opinion, that can be super helpful to keep in mind when you're going through the shit. And it can also help you appreciate the really good stuff too. Because no matter what, it ain't gonna be around forever. So while the phase of snack hour continues to live on, for how long? I have no idea.